Good morning, everybody. Today's video is going to be something a little bit different. My husband and I were thinking, what could we do for the long weekend? So we're going to go paragliding and power triking. So if you want to see if we actually go through with it, please keep on watching.
On a wave of good feelings. Well, it's just another Friday in paradise. So bring your A game, cause you know this party won't stop. We could never run out of time, sipping strawberry lime. You know I wanna share it with you. Macy's going boom boom. If you're looking for some crazy,
I got my flight suit on, and this is the rig that I'm going to go up in.
you can come on over. We can take the roller coaster. And you know everybody's looking for a ride in the water slide. Yeah, it's a hot day. I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with the splash gun so I cool down. Won't you come on over? We can party till the sun's down. Baby, let me buy you a drink while we're dancing a blink. I could go for some Queen Bee too. Macy's going boom boom. If you're looking for some crazy, I'll tell you everybody's standing in a line for the water slide. You can come on over. We can take the roller coaster. And you know everybody's looking for a ride in the water slide. Water slide.
Good morning, everybody. It is the next day. We did the power trike last night, and then this morning my paragliding got moved to today. Thought I would show you guys what I'm going to wear for makeup today before we go out. So first and foremost, I'm going to start off with sunscreen as I do every day. Today I'm going to use the Oasis Australian Gold SPF 50. What's nice about this sunscreen is that it's matte. I don't like a shiny, greasy looking sunscreen. You can also put your makeup over top of this and it won't peel and it won't disturb your makeup. Your makeup still looks good over top. So I'm actually going to put quite a bit on. You should never really scrimp or save on sunscreen. You should put more on than you think. So yesterday, oh my God, before you go on the power trike, they put on a flight suit, they go through some safety measures, and they explain what exactly you're going to do on your flight. A headset for you to wear so you can talk to the pilot at all times, and then a helmet. You get into this two-seater little light aircraft, I'm going to call it. They strap you in, there's a seatbelt, then you realize there's nothing else around you. Everything's open. Everything's open in front where the cockpit is, and everything's open around you. So I have nothing to hold on to. Okay, so you're sitting there, the guy's in front of you with a little seat that maybe you can put your hands here. Other than that, you sort of keep your hands on your lap. Then we start to taxi down a runway. Because the unit is so light, you can feel every rumble that's happening on the ground. And as he starts to pick up speed, you're thinking, we're never going to get off the ground. I finally pushed it too far. We're so going to crash because there's no way this little unit is going to make it off the ground. And then all of a sudden he accelerates, and then you're up in the air and it's like you're floating, you're flying. It is just such an amazing experience. I highly recommend, because this is just amazing. Next, I'll do a little under eye concealer. This is from Becca. All the products I use today, I'll list in the description box. You think you're going to be more scared, I guess, but you really aren't. Once he takes off, it's just like you're flying. And then he teaches you how the rig works, because it has a canopy on top and it also has a motor. So they can fly without the motor using the canopy. So he shows you how you turn left and right using the canopy. And then he actually lets you do a couple of turns, which is super crazy. And especially because you're sitting behind him, you kind of have to lean in a little bit in order to maneuver the rig. Totally awesome though. For my base today, I'm going to use the Rare Beauty Tinted Moisturizer. I've been wearing this all summer. It is an amazing base. It doesn't look like you're wearing a lot of makeup. It just evens everything out and has this nice little bit of glow. So we flew around towards the North Saskatchewan River so you could see the river. Everything's going great. It's super smooth. So he's checking on you the whole time, making sure that you're okay and you're not freaking out and that you're enjoying the ride. And then he also tells you kind of what we're doing. So if we're going to go to the left, if we're going to go to the right, if we're going to go any higher. We were sitting at about 4,000 feet above the ground. Then he says, we're going to go up to 5,000 feet above the ground so you can get a better aerial view of everything that we were looking at. There is a difference between 4,000 feet above the ground and 5,000 feet above the ground. The wind picks up a little bit more. The wind pressure is a little bit more. The air pressure is a little bit more. And you definitely feel it. It got a little bit cooler. Next, I'm going to take my Smashbox contour pencil. Just going to add a little bit of color. Just going to take a synthetic brush and brush it in. As we're ready to descend, he does tell you this ahead of time. He is going to cut the motor and you are going to glide in just using the parasail. When you hear that motor cut off, it's a little exciting, a little scary, but then you realize you're gliding, you're floating, you're flying. And then he's just using the parasail, you know, turn us left, turn us right, bring us in. And the landing is unbelievable. We're coming in without a motor. He has to hit the runway perfectly so that you land perfectly. The skill level it took to bring it in. And when we touched down, you couldn't even feel it. Like, it wasn't like a plane. I was waiting to feel that jar when you're in an airplane, you know, when they hit the runway, it kind of hits you. I'm going to take a little bit of concealer. This is the Dior Forever Correct. And I'm just going to do my eyelids because they have red undertone. Put a little on my rosacea here and a little on my chin for some acne scars. I've got a damp beauty blender and I'm just going to push that into my skin. So the difference between the ParaTriking and the Paragliding is that the ParaTriking has a motor, the Paraglider does not. So I'm going to be strapped to the instructor. We are going to run off a cliff, I think, or run up a field, and we're going to jump off. That's going to be today. So for my eyebrows lately, just to fill them in a little bit, I haven't been using my normal eyebrow pencil. I've been taking the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, and I'm taking the color Rustic on a little angled MAC brush, and I'm just coloring them in a little bit, just to add a little bit of depth to my eyebrows. This is a Sephora double-ended brush with a spoolie on the end, and I'm just going to run that product so they look a little more real, look a little more natural. I'm going to use my Tarlette palette, take the shade Flower Child, just on a little MAC fluffy brush. I'm just going to pat a little bit in so that I can set my concealer. I'm going to take a shader brush and I'm going to take the shade Smarty Pants. I always pat in the product. I don't swipe, because if I swipe it, it's just going to get caught in my wrinkles. And I go just above my natural eye crease so that my eye looks a little bit big. I'm going to go into the color Rebel, same shader brush, and I'm just going to go on the outer edge just to add a little bit of definition. So I've got the Scott Barnes blending brush, one of my favorites, and I'm just going to gently go over that so that everything looks nice and seamless. I don't have any harsh lines. So this is my absolute favorite sparkle product to put on your eye. Out of all the products I have, I always wear this one. It's Funny Girl here in the corner. It is the perfect tone of sparkle, and I'm gonna put it on the first third of my eyelid. You have to pat it and push it into the eyelid. I always use an eyelash curler to help lift my eyelashes up. And it just brings those eyelashes right up to attention. I've got the Benefit Rollerlash mascara, and I try to get as close to the root as I can to sort of make it mimic that I have eyeliner on. It just adds some nice detail there. Okay, so I'm going to set my face just in the T-zone area. So I've got the Fenty loose powder. I'm just gonna pour some in the lid. So I've got a really nice cut edge beauty sponge. I'm gonna tap it in the powder, cut my cheek area a little bit. And it also just cleans up if you got a little too crazy with your blush or your bronzer. And then I'm gonna do my chin area, just a little around my nose, and then I'm just gonna do my forehead just right there. Just the little places that I'm actually gonna sweat. The rest I'm going to leave. So while that's setting, I'm gonna leave it on for about 5 minutes or so. I'm gonna take some MAC blush, and I'm just gonna add some blush to the top part of my cheek. It's just where I want a little more color, and I'm always gonna do it on the upper part of my cheek. So for lips today, I'm just gonna take my NARS lip balm, and I'm in the color Dolce Vita. It's my favorite color. It's super hydrating, so I wear this pretty much all day. Because I'm a little extra today, I'm gonna take the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Filter, dab a couple dots on the top of my cheek, and rub it into the skin. So my powder's had about 5-7 minutes to set. I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna wipe off the excess. Once I'm done all my makeup, I always take my damp beauty blender, and then I just go around the areas to sort of blend everything in so I don't have any harsh lines. I am going to do some setting spray today only because we're going to be outside for quite a bit of the day, and it's going to be plus 31 today. So I've got the Urban Decay De-Slick. Give it a little shake. This is what it looks like in natural light. Super pretty, super lightweight. The Rare Beauty just evened out my skin tone. I've got some nice bit of color, a little bit of shine there. You see when the light hits that Charlotte Tilbury, it looks super pretty. A little bit of color on my eyes and a little lip color. Pretty, soft, good for the day. Paragliding starts at noon, so we're going to be leaving the hotel right away, and I'm going to take you guys with me.